Welcome back to the channel, where our truck camper Maximus seems to not just be housing us as we travel, but also sprouting leaks. We recently mentioned a pesky wet bay leak that seemed to self-correct. Well, that didn't happen. Steve walks through that fixture repair. Plus, Maximus sprouted a new fresh water leak in the cab and soaked the back of the cab really well.
So I've got a leak where this brass fitting goes into this aluminum adapter, and this is a special fitting that for this manifold that I built, and unfortunately the adapter scrapes all the sealant off before it can enter into the threaded section. So I'm going to take, and when I built this, I built it such that little pieces of line can be removed separately, so I can work on leaks. This has increased the numbers of fittings in here, but made it a whole lot easier to get a hold of something. Okay, so this is the fitting that leaks. This right here scrapes the Teflon tape out as I'm screwing it together. This is a gasket sealant that is also useful for threads, and so I'm going to be placing it on both the male and the female portions of it, because I'll show you the problem in just a minute here. I'm just trying to get it inside the depth of the thread so it doesn't get rubbed out. And so the problem is right here that these two high sides in this curved connector, they scrape all the material out before it can actually get into the bottom of the thread. So using a liquid sealant, I can actually place it directly into the thread before I put the fittings together, and that way it just gets smeared around, it doesn't get rubbed out. And that should do it. So I put it in the wrong place. I put it on, need to put it on here, not on there. So now I need to wipe it out, because this crap is, this stuff cannot be washed out. If you get this on your clothing, it is there forever. So it is absolutely no joke. Don't get it on yourself. Goes on the brass fitting, not on the plastic one. And I'm trying to get it down into the depth of the groove, so again, so it'll stay there. Of course, a good bit of this is working its way out of joint, and we will wipe it off again so as to keep it off ourselves. So this fitting is sealed by an O-ring, so all I have to do is keep it together. It slides together and then the collar holds it together, so it's not a matter of getting it tight, it's just a matter of getting it all the way down. Here, and these are sealed. This one and this one are both sealed with a rubber cone washer, so they won't leak if they're properly assembled. It's the darn threaded pipe, which is a lousy connection.
So I quickly jumped in and turned the water on for Steve just to make sure we're not seeing any water come out of the fitting that he just resealed. So far looks good. We'll just keep an eye on it for a few days. What time is it?
It's time to go.
Time to go!
Oh no.
We have to leave?
Been sitting here for 3 weeks.
Oh.
How long does it take you to do your hair?
Oh my God.
My wife says I need to share my problems and my mistakes as well. So I just came back from walking the dog to see, we are in a sagebrush lot, so there is no water here. And so what did I see? I see water dripping out of the back seat of the truck. If you see the drips, there's drips. So what do? I open the door and oh my goodness, the carpet is soaked, the plywood is soaked. Where is this water coming from? And so I see it all the way over to the other side. So I decided to go around the other side because the other side is where the pump is, and that's where lots and lots of fittings are. So the other side, and oh my goodness, look at that. It's leaking all over the ground here too. So I open up, I take it out, I open up my pump compartment, and I took the box out of here, but as you can see inside the pump compartment, it's totally soaked. And what I discovered was under the inlet of the tank, it's dripping from the inlet of the tank into the pump compartment. Well, it wasn't exactly from the inlet of the tank. And so what I started to do is I'm just going to drain the tank. And in the process, I happened to notice this. And this is the inlet to the tank. And the inlet to the tank has a plug. And on top of this plug is a return line from the reverse osmosis system. And it just so happened that this line was loose and laying behind the tank, back there, down behind it. And as you can see, the reverse osmosis system does that in its operation. And it's supposed to drain back into the tank. And for some reason, I guess I didn't get this tightly installed when last I filled water. And so that is the source of the water leak. So screwed it back on, put it back together. And now I just have a wet mess. Don't really care about on the ground, but behind the seat, all the way across, underneath the kayak, underneath the dog bed. So tomorrow, when it's nice and sunny and warm around here, we will have to take things out and get them dried out. So just to let you know that I am not perfect, and all is not unicorns and rainbows and Maximus. But this is as big as the disaster comes today, hopefully.
Water is one of our most needed resources when traveling for long durations, and having our elusive wet bay leak and then that random disconnect creating a soaking mess in the truck cab are somewhat frustrating, but also just part of our journey. But I know I have the best man for the job, and he'll eventually resolve all these problems. Until next week, thank you for joining us and checking out our custom camper and travels. We greatly appreciate hearing from you, especially getting questions on the rig. Click that thumbs up if you liked the video and drop us a comment or question below. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and follow our rig projects, repairs, and updates, along with our somewhat meandering travels in this new rig. We are here to share and inspire others who are building and traveling in RVs. We hope to see you out on the road, and good luck with your working and exploring.